Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 4, Pay the Toll. Shit's getting moved out to Jersey. However, it would seem that the Italians have come to play because Rock didn't do her homework on the major players in the area.
Like clockwork. Like absolute clockwork. She gets her ass stomped out the minute she tried to move in there. Now, we'll get a conversation here later with the Italians, but I don't understand. I don't get what there is not a lot of logic in making that move other than expanding and making more money.
Yeah.
And that seems to be her only concern. I'm really starting to question what the haste is. Why is she moving so quickly? Mm-hmm. What is she trying to get to? What is the finish line for her?
Yeah.
So it's been kind of hard to figure out from Rock in this season.
Rock is looking at art with Shakespearean Suge Knight. Shout out to Perp. Not sure why she's completely given up on Symphony Basket, but maybe she has some kind of plan here.
I don't know what her deal is with
Cartier.
I don't know what her deal is with him, but I'm thinking that it still has something to do with Lou and this record company. Why she's keeping him so close? Because I don't feel the chemistry. I don't feel the attraction. I don't see what he provides her other than what he mentions to her at the end of their conversation at the gallery.
Rock realizes that Mr. Suge Knight, with a Fort Greene lean, is washing his money through Monet.
Mm-hmm. I see what you did there.
That's the thing that she's realized is that he's money laundering through art.
Yeah. Yep. Which is easier than opening up a laundromat or a bodega for some reason, but sure, whatever. Sure.
And also doesn't require her to date him.
Yeah.
But whatever. Kanan goes to prison to see a nigga who I didn't know who this was.
I was like, who is this nigga?
But apparently it's Uncle Vernon about DEF CON. Vernon tells Kanan that DEF CON is definitely his father.
What the fuck are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? This is getting more and more obvious that even to Kanan, right? It's getting more and more obvious that something else ain't right.
Mm-hmm. Lulu about goes upside Crown's head because the mixer's gone. Truthfully, Crown should be scared, but because of his deal with Rock, he probably doesn't think much of his
intimidation. He's playing a dangerous game, boy, because he has gotten no assurances from Raquel.
Yeah.
And he making moves that if Lou had a little bit more wherewithal to actually pay attention to what's going on around him, he would pick up on it. But he's not. He has no idea that Crown is out here trying to talk to all his talent. He's stopping him from working. Why he's not putting that together? It's like you knew Crown was a snake when you first got into all of this. And it's like he's paying him no attention at all. Mm-hmm. He doesn't respect that man at all. He sent your girlfriend halfway or all the way across the country, and you haven't paid him no never mind at all because he's so focused on trying to get the label together.
Yeah. Yep. Marvin got some nerve talking about being there for family the way he yoked up Juke last season, but he goes into this little spiel about how family got to be there for each other.
Oh, to Kanan?
Mm-hmm.
Marvin he's just an angry guy. he just has something to complain about. But I think Kanan, he's looking for a reason. He's looking for somebody to give him a reason to trust his mom again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Marvin wasn't that effective, and neither was Uncle Vernon. So it's only one other place for him to ultimately end up to try to get all of this straightened out. I guess we'll see if he gets there.
Yeah. Juke arrives to her mom's crib and rings the doorbell, and while I thought she'd ding-dong ditch, she pulled up. Mm-hmm. LaToya Luckett looks a little shook but invites her in. Things start off awkward between the two, but Juke cuts straight to the chase about her mother leaving her.
I thought the excuse was weak. I would have liked something better than, I didn't really think I was a good mom and I didn't like the man, so I left.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't really like your father. I wasn't a good mom. I thought you'd be better off without me. But then I moved back to this apartment, this luxury apartment upstate and stayed gone.
I didn't understand that.
I thought that was the weakest excuse. And honestly, it makes me feel a way. And the reason why, and we haven't completely gotten through it, right? Even Juke is kind of apprehensive. But look at the way that they form the estranged relationships in the Power universe and how that usually comes off with estranged parents, as opposed to what we're seeing here now with Juke. On one hand, it's an improvement, but it's also not honest or truthful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So on one hand, we have all of these estranged fathers who end up being absolute monsters to their children. Some of them get killed by their children. And then we have this mother who abandoned her child when she was a baby, moved back into a neighboring area to which that baby lived, and lived out her life as if that child never existed, and got to have a happy reunion with said child when they came back, as if that child has no ill will towards that parent. It's not real. It's not real. It's not. The fact that, oh, well, I did it for the right reasons means nothing to the child that you left. Mm-hmm. Means nothing. Especially you got all this nice ass shit, all these goddamn books and shit. You going to choir practice every Wednesday, living you a good old life, while I'm in Jamaica, Queens, getting choked out by the man you left 12 years ago. Oh, well, I went to California and I said I was going to get rich and come get you. But then my steady job and stable lifestyle, I guess, wasn't enough either, so I just stayed away. There is no argument. There is no screaming about how she's a monster and how she was always lying to her or anything like that, or anything else we've gotten from an estranged parent in the Power universe. We'll let it play out. I'm just pointing out the obvious, that they were much more accepting of the absence of this mother, or the decisions that this mother made, that a lot of fathers in this show didn't get the benefit of the doubt for, narratively or through the dialogue. So, but once again, it hasn't played all the way out, so we'll see.
We'll see. Kanan complains about a smell in the room he's in, and he tries to find the source, but instead, he steals some bread.
I don't know who the fuck he think he is, but he really about to get somebody shot. Yeah. He's really about to get somebody killed. Yep. Now, the only positive thing that might come out of Kanan stealing that money is that it may lead Marvin to stumble onto some shit that he needs to stumble onto very soon.
Correct. Rock seems to believe that her job is being a problem solver, but she doesn't seem to understand that identifying potential problems before they become problems is a better standpoint, especially as a drug dealer.
Let's play this logic out first. So it's not incumbent on you as the leader of the organization to foresee problems coming, but just to adapt to them as you go on. You're going to be the ultimate Darwinist. There is no logic to anything she just said. No, I'm not going to prepare or do my homework. I'm just going to run into it head first and deal with it as it comes, because that's the job.
As a drug dealer, that's literally...
No, it is not. If that's the case, stupid. Then why do you buy police? Why do you have the building set up in the way that you do to hide everything in the case that y'all get raided? Why do you have lookouts on top of the buildings? What are you even talking about, right? What the fuck are you talking about? Being in this business, just being a problem solver. No, who's writing this? Who is writing this? That wasn't a very shining moment for the showrunner. I don't feel like, because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Like, even given the results, she doesn't relent at all. She still got the nerve to be talking to fucking Lou about his goddamn recording office. This ain't got nothing to do with Lou and his label. Nothing. It's got everything to do with you and your aggression. So like, it just doesn't make sense at all. And then Marvin is all too content to just let her have her way and do whatever the hell she want.
No critical thinking.
Which doesn't make... Why? Like this is not a game. They're not playing battleships. Like, people's lives are at risk when you doing this shit. So for him to sit up there and see how all of this shit unfolded and not say or do anything to the contrary, like, yeah, he might have brought it up, the fact that she bugging, but the minute she tell him to get in line, he get in line and shut up. Mm-hmm. Like, what is going on here?
Also, pizza motherfuckers is a terrible insult for Italians.
Said about meet with these pizza motherfuckers.
I was like, what? She couldn't have said anything. Guido motherfuckers, or there's so many things she could have said besides pizza motherfuckers. Like, that's what you got?
That was the least offensive way to identify an Italian and make it.
Is it?
Make it relevant
so
to the
time. So you're generalizing Italians as pizza motherfuckers.
No, well, first of all, if they were Italians talking about blacks, I think they just would have let them say nigga. You can bleep that out. The fact that they said pizza MFers makes me think that they were trying to find a way to be safe in the slurs that they were using, because we both know that there are obvious slurs that could have been used to describe an Italian that more than likely would have been used as opposed to pizza motherfuckers.
Okay, so even if I'm going off of the cheeky Italian reference, you could have done better than pizza motherfuckers.
No, there's a ton of things that you could have said, but they are all more offensive than pizza motherfuckers.
Okay, so we're going for the most basic.
Thank you. Thank you. Because again, my point is, if those were Italians describing blacks, literally just saw The Godfather 2 over the weekend. Masterpiece, by the way. But what does homeboy say in the very beginning when he's talking about losing to Hyman Roth and losing his territory to Hyman Roth? They work with blank, describing Hispanics. They work with blank, describing blacks. They work with Jews. They don't have no problem if it's reversed, describing how they would actually say it. But it seemed like there was a little bit of deference being showed at that moment, which kind of made it a little cringy to me. But
yeah,
in case it was a throwaway line, I didn't barely pay too much attention.
Yep. Unique pulls up
R.I.P.
on Juliana again and gives her PTSD. One would have to believe that it'll have major implications in the future, which it does.
What did I say about when they pieced him out? What they should have did with Nick?
Made him leave.
Take your ass to another borough. Get the hell out of here. Leave now. No, we're not negotiating with you. We could either put you down right now, or you can get out and go. Because I never believed he was just going to walk out into the sunset and be cool with how everything played out.
Well, not only that, he pulled up on Worrell at the end of the scene.
Fam, you mean that Worrell, Unique's right-hand man, betrayed Rock after working for her for a week, and now he's double-crossing him?
Who could have seen that happen?
Who could have predicted? Certainly not any of the characters in the show or anybody watching it. Man, what the It ain't been a week, dog. It ain't been a week. But like I said earlier, hopefully the drugs and the money coming up missing from Worrell's stash is going to lead him to start tracking him and seeing what's going on, and that'll lead him, obviously, to see that he's working with Unique.
Hopefully.
And when they get him, y'all better do him 30 times worse than y'all did Scrap.
Facts.
That is so crazy. Y'all killed Scrappy over some bullshit that you couldn't even verify, and you got this dude in here ready to tear your whole business apart. He know where all the money at. He know where all the drugs at. He know the ins and outs of the operation, and you gave it to him all because you were thirsty.
No, because Rock is a problem solver.
She's a problem creator at this point. She's literally creating barriers where there were none. You didn't have to deal with the potential of being double crossed by a former enemy before you made that decision. You didn't have to deal with a rival organization and one that doesn't deem you to be relatively human at this moment. So what are we talking about here? What are we You are literally creating the barriers from you being successful. Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere, out of thin air.
Yep. Lulu tells Rock that he needs some bread. She tells him to stop acting like a hoe. And then she literally plays him like a hoe because he doesn't get the money unless he puts in work for the family.
They gonna have to figure this shit out. They gonna have to figure this shit out. It's kind of annoying. Like, anytime this nigga mentions something about that recording studio, she's disrespectful as hell. Like, she never has anything, even on like on like some peacetime shit. It's like it's always negative around it.
Yeah.
She just need to get to it and go ahead and take it away from him if she gonna do it, so that he can adjust and show another part of his character arc. Because this whole I want to leave the drug game behind and become a music producer it's not gonna last. Mm-hmm. Nobody seems to want to let you just do what you want to do. So I wanted to go on ahead and get on with it. I think right now she's in the middle. She's still trying to let him do what he wants to do while making sure that if it ultimately fails, she can right the ship. She can be in control of the situation. That is the one thing that I got from this episode from Rock. She feels like she's losing control on her family. Mm-hmm. And that's something that stabilizes her, the idea that she's in control of everything. Mm-hmm. But when she sees instances of people bucking her control, she don't like it. She does not like it at all.
Kanan asks why she wanted him to shoot Omar Epps. Very valid question, Kanan.
Boy, you should have asked that shit 4 months ago.
Yeah, but she tried to lie about him killing Buck 20. Kanan is obviously not believing any of her BS.
No, she said that he was going to frame him for Buck 20's murder.
Yeah.
Which...
Well, I just meant like she lied to him about that situation.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Which immediately should make no sense to Kanan. Like that should be an automatic lie, right? Because you know for a verifiable fact that he knows 100% that you shot him. So if he was once upon a time trying to use a potential killing of Buck 20, something that he couldn't even necessarily prove, but was just going to say it anyways to get you in trouble, so much confidence in that actually happening that he brought it to your mother as a threat, would then come back after you shot him and told him that he would never turn you in because you're his son. Do those two things make sense to you, Kanan? Somebody sound crazy in this instance. Does it sound like him?
Plus, wasn't killing D-Wiz supposed to end all of that shit?
All of the bullshit is what was supposed to be. No. D-Wiz was supposed to stop the shit between her and Unique. Remember?
Because of Buck 20, though. Because he was talking about killing Buck 20.
Ah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So that should have ended the whole Buck 20 saga right then and there.
Rock is getting wilder and wilder with her explanations, and she's not getting any closer to the truth.
Yeah.
Howard, on the other hand, is giving him pure fact, and every time he
telling Kanan what to expect
from her, exactly.
Playing offense and defense.
It ain't looking too good for her, bro. Every time they get done talking, his face get more sour and sour.
Yep. Juke pulls up to her room to grab some clothes from her Zuckerberg closet full of Carlton hand-me-downs and sees that Marvin changed up her room. Marvin explains what he's done, but she dips anyway.
Hey, listen to me, man. Now, this is where I'm going to turn some of this criticism back to Juke. I get that, Marvin crossed the line, putting his hands on you. Obviously. He crossed the line talking about old girl. 4 months of apologies, and now you're willing to go out and find the woman who left you in the first place? You're going to have to come off of that some a little bit. If you've opened up to the point where you would entertain bringing a parent that abandoned you back in your life, then how could you then boil down your entire life that you spent with Marvin, the parent who stayed and actually raised you, down to that one interaction, the worst interaction that y'all have ever had? How is that fair? If you're forgiving of the worst interaction that you've ever had from this vagrant, this abandoned parent,
mm-hmm.
If you're forgiving that to the point where you can entertain a relationship with that person, how is it that you can justify never talking to the person who actually raised you, who stayed?
And not even attempting to forgive him.
Yeah, that's contradictory to me.
Agreed.
So I don't really understand it to that point, because it's kind of like, oh, well, I don't want to deal with Marvin no more, so I'm going to try again with this new parent who left me in the first place. It's not particularly fair, but it's not complete in terms of thought process,
Yeah.
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 It's just like, this guy is so bad that I have to go and hunt down the parent who is never there and probably would have never showed up had I not knocked on her door.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't trying to find you.
Yep.
She knew exactly where the fuck you was at. She uptown, literally. A taxi ride away.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see how that plays out going forward. But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. This may be an embarrassing moment of laughing at your own joke, but last week I put up the Carlton comparison. Laughed for like 20 minutes straight. Because the sweater was
on point.
Perfect.
Yeah, no, that shit was on point.
All right. So the Bocellis pull up deep and flex their muscle in all of Newark.
And you showed up with Lulu and Marvin.
He pulled up 12 deep easily. Don Bocelli gives a number and Rock rejects without so much as a real consideration.
Why did you even go there? Why did you show up? Why did you set the meet? You could have big dicked him from Yo City, from Jamaica.
Yeah.
You could have blew him off safely from home. You went all the way to Newark to look at his offer, tell him you rejected, and walk off. You think that you can withstand war with the Italians in their turf? Where is the strategy behind any of this?
There is none.
Why? I need somebody to. I'm tempted to listen to Tariq and Homeboy's little funky ass podcast that they had with Rock to see what
she
thinks of her character. Yeah, because what is this? How does this make sense? Like, maybe if you had some heat at home, it would make sense to move elsewhere. Maybe if you had a competitor that you couldn't move out at home, it makes sense to go elsewhere. Maybe if you were trying to build your wealth to a point to protect you from some sort of crime or coming threat or anything like that, then this move would make sense. You own Queens, Jamaica. It's just not enough. You're insatiable.
Yep.
So all of these moves are making are feeling just greedy. They feel greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was getting ready to say who runs a business on greed. Now I was going to say most of the Fortune 500. Yeah. Well, I guess. But that's not you, girl. You're not McDonald's. You selling work.
Yeah. Starting up war for seemingly no real reason,
At
Lou
all.
tried to slow down efforts, and Rock, after calling the Italians noodle niggas, tells him to get back in line.
Again, another one of those instances where if the roles were flipped, we would have heard some sort of racial epithet. But then if we're throwing it back, we have to find the most benign insult. I don't get that at all.
I was so
mad. If we just trying to be accurate, then be accurate. You know? Yeah. Anyways.
Pizza motherfuckers and noodle niggas is terrible writing.
Do you think you would ever hear a white person or an Italian person in a TV show call us chicken niggas? Yes. I don't think so.
No, not really, but that's funny.
No, because they would just call you a
nigger
with a hard ER.
Yeah.
Why are we using racial epithets if you're not gonna use one?
Let's cancel Christmas on these chicken motherfuckers. On these fried chicken motherfuckers.
Anyways, yeah, the meat didn't really make much sense to me. Why did you even go? Set a meet with them for what, Rock? Did you never pay on? You didn't plan on paying a toll at all. So then why go?
She opened herself up for a hit.
Like that was the all right. I'm gonna go there, disrespect him, and walk away, and then we gonna get back to business. And once again, Marvin is all too happy just to go along with it because apparently he likes being at risk.
I got no answer for
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't understand.
To go on a little bit of a tangent because you mentioned their podcast. Mm-hmm. Did you see Braden? Well, okay, Tommy got on stage at a 50 show. And then he also brought up Tariq and Braden. Tariq goes up, hugs Tommy. And then Braden goes for some dap, and Tommy's just like, no. Mm-mm. Like, straight disses him.
Like, to his face, like, or he was, like, looking away, and he left him hanging.
Tommy was kind of looking away, and Braden, like, taps him on his shoulder, and then, like, he's like, oh, what's up? And then Tommy was like, and, like, straight played him.
Damn, they got beef?
Well, so Tommy then goes, like, I don't know if he said, like, there was something, but they squashed it, or he said something along those lines. And Braden goes on Instagram and is like, nah, fuck that. Like, you've been playing me this entire time. Like, you've been super arrogant. And all
Joseph
this other shit.
Sikora and whoever Braden's character's name is. Damn.
It's like Gianni Paolo or something like that is his name.
We got white boy beef. We got Italian beef on the.
No, we got noodle nigga beef. All right, back to power. Famous is throwing a party in his shithole. Apparently, Kanan paid for the party with Rock's bread. And then a girl and her mother pull up to tell them to keep the noise down. But I'm starting to think it was a hoe and her madam.
About to rob them niggas blind. They either about to set them niggas out or Kanan gonna have to pay for what he got that night.
See, okay. So I'm gonna make a joke later.
They're literally setting them
what I
niggas
thought
up
it
for
was.
something. Yeah.
No, I thought it was Kanan was gonna have to pay some bread for what happened.
I was so confused. I was like, all right, so this your daughter, this your mama. Why y'all both throwing it? I probably wouldn't have let him in the house just because I felt like it's too suspicious.
Nah, Kanan
How you
was-
here with your mama? She throwing it and you throwing it, but then she let you come in here with me. No,
Kanan was just ready
no,
for some
no
action.
mas, no mas, no. It's enough women in here without this foolishness y'all got going on. I don't trust it.
Yeah, but this is easy work.
Is it easy work? You are the easy work.
To Kanan,
Like
in his head,
he is the easy work.
y'all easily.
All
Yes,
she had to
for
do
sure.
was bat her eyes at you and usher her daughter into your place. Now all of a sudden you don't have a girlfriend. You sucking face in the middle of the party. What the hell is going on? Whatever happened to his
I was
chick
just
though?
about
Too?
to
Yeah,
say,
what happened to her?
She's just been gone this entire season.
Yeah, what the fuck happened
She's
to
on
her?
a different show apparently.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't know that. I'm just saying that. Yeah, no, I definitely took it as she's a hoe and she was going to cause him to pay racks. Also, well, if they're going to rob them, what the fuck does Famous have?
I think they smell him smoking all this weed and drinking. Say they got a little bit of cash on them. Maybe they just, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
It just
know either.
felt off. Like,
Oh, no,
what
it was
is
definitely
happening here?
It was definitely off. Great value Regina Hall gives some to Omar Epps before he calls her a hoe philosopher. He then tries to get some parenting philosophy from his hoe philosopher. She explains that he needs to be there for his son. The hooker that Omar Epps keeps talking to.
Ah, okay. Yeah, you kind of threw me off there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he needs somebody to talk to, and he did it much better this time. Much better. He's growing in his communication.
Relatively speaking, I guess, because the first time was wild, but this is kind of wild, but not as wild.
And also, we get a look into like why he's feeling so bad about what's going on with him, with Kanan and all that, other than the fact that he shot him. It's like he has this expectancy that like, yeah, I tell you I'm your dad, and you come running towards me. It's not. First of all, you're not his dad. You're his biological father, but you're not his dad. You know, you haven't been there. He's damn near a man, and he made it there without you. So it's like that familial tie that you're expecting it to pop in is not there. It wasn't built. He doesn't understand like the basics of fatherhood or parenting because you've never had a child. I guess I can get his angst or his want to reconnect, but it doesn't seem to be a level of understanding of where Kanan is coming from. Mm-hmm. Like my mom had me attempt to kill my biological father, and now he's telling me that he knows, even though he's been my enemy for the better part of a year, and that he would never lock me up. So now I'm hella confused. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's a lot of shit for a 15-year-old to handle.
Yep. Rock asks Juke where Kanan is. Juke admits to Rock that she saw her mother. Rock shows clear disdain for LaToya Luckett. And at the time, I was real tired of Rock shit because even though she probably feels some type of way, I felt like she could have faked being happy.
No, man, it's that control thing. Juke is now, it was all good when it was just her and Marvin because she was splitting time at the house as it was. She kind of felt like her de facto mother. Mm-hmm. Now her real mother is back in the picture, and it's like, hold up. I mean, she's making some valid points. Like, she was up the street from you.
Yeah.
All this time and like never came to fuck with you. So like she is making good points. That her saying it that way and it being presented as like Rock trying to down the relationship, that's what made me concerned about the framing of the relationship, because now it seems like it in actuality in the show will be a virtuous thing, their relationship that'll probably be upended by Rock.
Yeah.
Which that level of suspicion should have already been there. That's the unrealistic part about it. It was like it was fairy tale until Rock fucked it up. Mm-hmm. That's not, and I don't even believe they believe that, because that's not how you've told that story time and time again.
Yeah. Kanan starts making out with homegirl and Juke pulls up to the party. Kanan clearly doesn't know that she's about to ask bro to pay his $500 tab at the end of the night. or so I thought.
I don't know. Well, clearly he got out of there without paying, so I don't think it's the paying thing. I think that they getting set up for something.
But just I don't understand.
Maybe she done caught this nigga on the block with the tape, so she know he got something on him. I don't know. Maybe they just seen all the people running in and out of there, assume that they had a little cash on them. They're getting set up for something.
Possibly.
Getting set up.
Juke looks upset when Crown pulls up to the party for obvious reasons. He gives her the next big track for her.
I feel like Juke is the only one that's sniffing out Crown at this point. Juke and baby Raquel, but Raquel's getting ready to use Crown.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he gave her Ziza's track.
I don't know.
Because at first I thought Crown was going to give Juke's song that she was singing to Ziza. Or is that her name, Ziza?
Mm-hmm.
But then now it looks like Crown's going to give that song that Ziza was just singing to Juke and create some conflict.
Well, giving her a song in general is a smart move because he's already
Lou's not. Lou ain't gave her shit.
Not the smartest move, but he's trying to pull everybody in. Like
no, that's what I'm saying.
Week.
Yeah, he giving her something that she not even getting from her uncle.
Yeah. Yep. Cartier Fareed pulls some strings to get Lou a new mixer board. He then gives Lou some advice that I'm sure he'll probably take to heart at some level.
You think it's honest advice, or you think he laying him up, or he lining him up for Rock?
Does Cartier Fareed know already that Lou is getting lined up out of his own business?
I think he has an idea, because Crown is not as slick as he think he is. Lou's just not paying attention.
Sure.
He's moving in plain sight, like he's very obvious with it. You didn't have the balls to come talk to my sister. So for all you know, I know everything that's fucking going on with you. He's very risky. So I think even though he may not know all the moves and all the players just yet, I think he has a good idea of what's going down, and that's why he's hanging around.
Mm.
So do you think that he's being honest with Lou about what he needs to do to take over?
It's definitely a possibility, especially if Cartier Fareed sees himself in this new business that the three of them are going to form. It's a possibility. Because I don't see why he would need to hang on and give Lou good advice if he's just going to snake him out of the business along with the three of them.
Sure.
So I can see that. Rock pulls up to see Juliana, and she's clearly upset about Unique pulling up. I'm really starting to hate Rock after how she ignores Juliana's pleas for her.
It's just part of the game. What part of the game is that? That he told you he don't want no more smoke, he don't want anything, and now all of a sudden he's coming back to the place where you store your money. He should never step foot in that bodega ever again.
If he wanted peace.
What are you talking about? What is taking her focus so much? What is she focused on? Because it seems like everything else is secondary to her.
Mm-hmm.
What are you focused on?
But that shit made me kind of mad because it's like, you're not even going to help Juliana. You're not looking for anybody.
You're going to blow her off, create an enemy out of her.
Rock and Symphony Bosket are looking at cribs. Symphony doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but he knows he's being played. Rock makes a corny joke about carpets, and Symphony goes right back to simping for her for a second. But he still has questions why he had to drop off Kanan.
I think he knows, and I think Kanan told him. I think he knows exactly why he had to get Kanan out there, and he's just want her to tell him the truth.
Yep.
And she's not. She's still lying about it, still treating him like a side piece, and he doesn't want to be that to her anymore. And he finally shows a spine and tells her not to call him anymore, which I was actually a little bit surprised about. I was a little bit surprised that he told her that, like, flat out, we ain't even got to get into the why. Just let me move on with my life and stop calling me. I was like, oh, man, cold.
Perfect timing for her little tryst with Cartier Fareed.
Yeah. At least that didn't get messy, right?
Yeah. Plus, he dropped a bar about the vacation thing. Like, he wanted to be her home, not her vacation.
Yeah, man. Like, you over here treating me like summertime booty, and I'm trying to be there year round. You know?
Yep.
Like, you over here, this would have been my cell. Mm-hmm. That house would have been Symphony's cell. You stay here and be my slice of regular life while I go out here and do all this dirt on the streets, and I'll come back to you eventually. Mm-hmm. That would have ended up being his prison if he'd moved into that house with them.
Yep.
Nice ass house, though.
Oh, yeah.
Nice ass house. You see, he did not neglect to get the booty one last time. Yes. He did not neglect to get the cheeks one last time.
Yes.
Knowing full on well, like, I'm about to tell her to leave me the fuck alone as soon as she get off of me.
If this is the last time we see Symphony Basket, I'll be happy with that being the ending.
I don't think it's going to be the last time we see him,
either,
but it's the last of Rock and Symphony for sure.
Fair enough.
For sure.
Unique is still hanging out in the suit shop. Burke pulls up to ask him some shit about him being set up that night.
She nosy.
Yeah, but she knows something's off.
Yeah, she does.
So I guess I can't fault her for that. I thought Rock was metaphorically speaking about a short bus, but no.
We on a short bus tonight.
Worrell's for real about to drive a short bus to make a drop to Jersey.
Yeah. Or he's going to drive a short bus to stop it and do what they set up with motherfucking Unique. Because, Unique is literally on the phone with the Italians when Burke walks in and tells him, hey, yo, watch out for my man. He with me.
I missed that.
Yeah, he's on the phone with the Italians, letting them know what the drop is going to be. He's like, it's in a short bus. It's in a short school bus. It's coming at this time. Blah, yada, yada. Because Worrell snitching ass told him. Mm-hmm. I hope they tear that nigga limb from limb.
They have to.
I hope they tear his ass up because, well, you know what? And then I hope at the same time while they whooping his ass, they say something to Rock. Like, you see what you did? You see what you did? Problem solver.
Mm-hmm. You know, that actually makes sense because Worrell ends up leaving unscathed when they came by.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny, though? So the first truck that got hit when they went under the bridge, they beat the shit out of that man.
Yeah. Yep.
Probably knocked some teeth loose, mouth bloody, all kind of shit. You see that they meant business.
You would think a second time.
But when they get Worrell, he comes back perfect in one piece.
Yeah, a second time, they're killing that guy.
Yeah,
I would think.
After you just crumbled up they offer and threw it?
Yeah, I'm killing your boy. Fuck you.
Okay.
So that makes sense. That checks.
Okay. Let's see if she problem solved this one. Probably not.
We'll see.
And Marvin will sit there and smile as it's happening, and then Lulu will be the only person trying to tell them to do something different, and she'll insult him about his record label.
Yes. Yep.
Because that's how the family communicates nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Kanan dips from the crib and says he's hanging out with Famous. Apparently, Rock's female intuition kicks in, and she goes to watch him leave the house. Kanan Kanan obviously puts the pieces of the puzzle together and ends up on Howard's front porch. Rock follows him and sees it all. No doubt she's going to do something extremely
she's scared
idiotic.
as hell now. She's scared. He don't believe you. He doesn't believe you. Doesn't tell him what. It doesn't matter what story you make up to try to explain it. He doesn't believe you anymore.
Yeah. No doubt she's going to do something extremely idiotic, judging by the dumbass look she had on her face. Had she told the truth at literally any point, this could have possibly been avoided. But nope, she lied at every single opportunity, and that led to him being on the front porch.
They set it up perfectly for him. Your family is who's here for you, not for themselves, not to protect their own lies and secrets, but for you. And all Howard has been since he found out that he was his son, has been there for you. It's been there for Kanan. That's all he's done. So while you out here scheming, trying to keep him around, keep him from his father, you pushed him right towards him. Mm-hmm. Now you're fucked. You're fucked.
Yep.
You're fucked.
Yep. Because
nothing from this point on is going to be without you giving something up. You're going to have to start telling him the truth. He's doesn't believe you.
Yep.
Doesn't believe you. So you're going to have to start giving up some information to get back in with him, which is going to make him realize that you've been lying to him for the longest time and continue to do so.
Yep.
Wait till he finds out that the real reason you had him try to shoot Howard is because he was going to tell you. He was going to tell Kanan that he was his father. And that's the only reason. It didn't have shit to do with D-Wiz, Buck 20, Nothing about the business. He wanted Kanan to know that he was his father. That's it. That's why she wanted you to shoot him.
And when that gets out, it's curtains.
Yeah.
I watched the bootleg version, so I didn't get to see what was coming up in the next
Preview
episode.
for next week looks like it's going to be a filler episode.
Oh.
We're liking it back to the Tiger episode on Snowfall. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
Kanan gets mixed up with some white girls after finding him a new girl. I guess he liked Tariq.
He dipped on the hooker.
Yeah, dipped on the hooker, found some white girls, some bad stuff happens. Rock is going to have to end up coming out there. Somebody dies, it looks like.
But nobody of any real importance.
It doesn't. It feels like a filler episode, yeah.
Well, that kind of makes sense because I think probably after that they're going to go. You think they're going to go into a break? I would think. They usually go into a break either after episode 5 or episode 6. So
I would hope they wouldn't go on a break after this next episode because it doesn't seem like it has
actually,
much
you know what?
connection to
No,
the main plot.
it looks like there's going to be one for the 11th and for the 18th.
There you go.
So maybe there will be one after episode 6, which they've done before.
Yep. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on episode 4?
That's it for me. Give us your thoughts on this week's episode of Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, Season 2, Episode 5. 4. Damn it.
Almost had it.
Episode 4. Pay the toll. Give us your thoughts. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment in the prompt below. And come back next week for another review.
And make sure you check out our playlist of Power Reviews. We've covered Power Book 2 Ghosts, Power Book 3 Raising Kanan, the first season, and Power Book 4 Force. So make sure you check out some of our reviews on those. And make sure you subscribe because we will be covering the rest of the season of Power Book 3 Raising Kanan.